To learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. Okay, so I'm back at the tiny house build again today, like I've been every day for the last month. Yesterday, I worked on getting the soffit plate or the gutter plate or whatever it is you want to call it. I worked on getting the 1x4s. You can see a 1x4 on there. I just simply took a level from the overhang to the wall, marked it off with chalk line, hung the board. So now all I got to do is I got to put these boards here up there to cover up the 2x4 rafters, and that'll seal all that in. And then I can start measuring the wall for my metal roofing material. So Carolyn has painted this, and we're going to let it dry one more day before I hang it up. And to be honest, I've come to the conclusion I need a little bit of downtime. I'm making way too many mistakes. Last night, I threw the batteries on the battery charger. So I started up the generator, turned on the battery charger, and I charged the batteries. The days are shorter now, so I don't get as much sunlight. I've been charging the batteries about 2-3 times a week. Well, when I do that, I have to disconnect everything from the battery and put it over to the generator. And then when the batteries are charged, I put everything, all our electrical appliances back onto the battery. Last night, I shut off the generator and I didn't put everything back over to the inverter, the battery. So our refrigerator didn't run all night. This morning when I woke up, I didn't notice it right away. So about an hour and a half later, my computer tells me that the battery is dying. I'm like, why is the battery dying on my computer? I look over and sure enough, I hadn't plugged it in. So I went out to the refrigerator and looked in the freezer. We had one package of meat that had thawed out. It was still good enough to use, so we'll eat it today. It didn't go bad. But I'm making more and more mistakes. Like yesterday, I fought with getting this thing on. I fought with it for about an hour. Finally, I decided that they did not give me enough components to put this on. So I went over to the hardware store and he worked with me and gave me a connecting pipe for $40. Oh man, $40. Sure enough, slid right on, everything was perfect. Last night, in the middle of the night, I woke up and I thought, that was stupid. You're so stupid. So I've cut this pipe, so I can't return it. I had to cut it, it was too long. Turns out that I was trying to put this on down here. I had the chimney upside down. I was trying to put it on upside down. So I'm making more and more mistakes like that. I'm forgetting things. So today I'm not gonna do much. I might pilfer a little bit. Like I cut the pipe, you know, that bad $40 pipe, I cut that out of there. It was too tight for me to take off. So I took the grinder, took it out. Sure enough, I mean, everything lines up perfectly. Now, this is Saturday. The last time I took a break on Saturday, highly criticized. I lost 50 subscribers that day. So many people were upset that I took a day off, but I'm not gonna sit here and waste $40 a day on mistakes. I'm gonna just relax. I'll edit this video. I got some work that I gotta catch up on. I'm way behind on my paying job, so I gotta catch up on that. So I'm just gonna play catch up today. That way I'm not off in 50 different areas. And that's what's happening is I'll be thinking about, well, like yesterday, I was gonna hang the gutter board. That's all I was gonna do. I was gonna go to the hardware, hang some gutter board. And I thought, you know what, while I'm over there, I'll get some screws for the chimney. Well, in order to get screws for the chimney, I had to figure out if I needed to get screws for this. And so, you know, I'm just off in too many different places. Instead of plugging the refrigerator back into the inverter, I was literally working on metal siding, trying to figure out what kind of metal siding I needed, which today I got all figured out. I think we're in good shape. I think I got all the pieces I needed. The building is an inch too long. I got that worked out, figured out how I was going to correct that mistake. In yesterday's video, I told you I cut this overhang over here an inch too long. The trim will cover that up. But there's just things I had to think about and fix. One of the things that has really been bothering me here lately is the comment section. I get so many people, I bet 10 people a day tell me they got 25, 30, 50, you know, 100 years experience doing something. And they seem very authentic and genuine and concerning. And they'll tell me, Rob, don't do this or don't do that or don't do this. You're doing it wrong. And it's just like, okay, how do you have 25 years experience And you're telling me I'm doing it wrong, but when I go to the manufacturer, the website, the manufacturer of the component that I'm working with, you went completely the opposite direction of what the manufacturer told me I needed to do. Yesterday I got a comment, and I really enjoyed this comment. I want to share it with you. Okay, I really enjoy your channel, but I finally disagree with you on something. That it is okay to use a house wrap on the roof. And now how is this possible? I told everybody, it is to code. You're supposed to use house wrap on the roof. There is no disagreement. This is a house wrap. You cannot disagree. I am following code. So many people tell me, you're not following code. You're going to tear, the place is going to fall down. You know, I can't tell you how many times people tell me, oh, you got to have a crown cap up there. No, I don't. The building is just not that big. It doesn't need one. It's not that heavy. You got to have a header over here. No, you don't. Everywhere you look, you do not need a header on a non-supporting wall. But I get it every day. Oh, you're missing a header. You know, when I need a header, I got a header. I put a header here. Did it correctly? So it's not like I was just like, well, I didn't know about it. I did know about it, and I researched and I figured it out. So this guy continues. He says, you have to have a moisture barrier on the roof. And I thought house wrap was designed to allow moisture to pass through and keep the wind from passing through. And then he did something really incredible. I looked it up so I could correct you. It turns out house wrap is designed to let vapors through but stop liquids. I learned most of the building skills in Houston. This will be an important fact in a minute. I was taught you always have to have a vapor barrier on the roof. So I looked that up. Turns out only need a vapor barrier on the roof in a high humid environment. Remember, Houston, not in lower humidity area. Wow. So my question to you is Missouri a high humidity area? Well, apparently not. You know, in the wintertime, it's not that humid. I would say June, July, August, yeah, it gets pretty humid. But for the rest of the year, no, we're probably, 40, 50, 60% range. So it's not high humidity. I don't know what they define as high humidity. I would imagine 80, 70, 80%. So now I won't try to correct you on this. Boy, I sure am glad I looked this up before I humiliated myself. This guy's a genius. This is what I've been trying to teach you. You got to research. You got to look things up. Just got a comment yesterday. And he was very genuine. And I'm sure I'm going to upset him. But he said, make sure that you put your screws on your metal roofing on the peaks, not in the valleys. Your metal roofing has peaks and valleys. Put your screws to the peaks, that way you won't get leaks. That is true on corrugated metal roofing. But when you get modern day metal roofing, you can look at any building. They put it next to the peak, every 2 feet. So I went to the manufacturer that I'm going to buy the metal roofing from. They got videos. The manufacturer has videos showing you how to put the screws in. And you're supposed to put it 2 feet, and it says specifically next to the peak. Not on the peak, next to the peak. Every 2 feet. So this guy says, I got 25 years experience, so if you need any help, just give me a holler. I'll help you out. And I won't criticize you for code because, I understand you're not working the code. Okay, this is what's so concerning to me. Either the guy is lying and he doesn't have 25 years experience. It might be that he worked on something 25 years ago, so that gives him 25 years experience. But to me, 25 years experience means you've been doing it day after day after day for 25 years. And I get this all the time. People want to help me and they're not qualified based on the information they have provided me. And so they go out on and tell people things that aren't true, and it costs more money to repair these things. And they don't come back and make corrections. So I don't understand how somebody can get on Facebook or YouTube and not just with me, okay, but with anybody and say, I have this many years experience, and then say something that is completely wrong and potentially guiding everybody into a wrong direction. Costing them time, money, safety issues. I'm trying very hard when I give you my videos not to tell you specifics. I always try to tell you that I'm not a carpenter. This is new to me. Everything I'm doing, I'm having to research and look at and find manufacturers to tell me how to do things. I had to mess something up to learn how to do it correctly. It cost me a $40 education. So I always try to bring you my mistakes, like I've made the overhang an inch too long. I try to bring those mistakes to you so you know that I'm human and I'm making mistakes. I'm learning as I go. And I'm not telling you that I have some outrageous experience level and then I come up to a mistake that is just, a guy who has been doing this every day for 25 years would not have made this mistake and put the pipe upside down. But a guy who has 1 day experience puts the pipe upside down. I hope I can inspire you to learn on your own and research on your own. Thanks for watching.